Sanitization, advantages and disadvantages. Its screen is visible, Pramod? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Okay. As already all of we know that from last year, we are in the pandemic of COVID-19, when we also and our students, when we go anywhere, when students approaching us, at that time there is the instruction for students, keep always mask on the space, always maintain the social distancing with each other. This has happened due to this pandemic in the COVID-19. So here in this last year, we have understood the importance of sanitization, what are its advantages, and we try to develop ourselves or make condition hygienic for our care. So here today the topic is sanitization, advantages and disadvantages. So when we can consider the sanitization, as already all of we know that daily we are using the hand sanitizers. Every time when we go anywhere, we are using the sanitizers which are of volatile substances. Easily within the second we have used the hand sanitizer. And hello.
Hi, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm audible, brother?
Hi, yes, sir.
Okay. So what is sanitization? Sanitization is a process of cleaning certain area or surface in such a manner so that it is made bacteria free and elementally clean all types of microbes and viruses that can infect the human body or cause different kinds of disease. So here microbe means what? These are the minute unicellular organisms that are invisible to us. So with the sanitization, we try to destruct these microbes or bacteria or viruses. So that process is known as sanitization. When we can consider about the hand sanitization, in hand sanitization, it is a process of cleaning the human body, especially hands, that can get infected with any contagious microbes when the hands touch any infected surfaces, animals or humans. So when we can consider the contamination of viruses, its main source is our hand. When we touch our hand to the any surfaces, and if there are the viruses, at that time there is the possibility to that virus infectious us. So because of that, here particularly today we give emphasis on hand sanitizers. So here, when we can consider the hand sanitization, what are the problems? So here the problems are our hands touch a number of surfaces. Touching makes hand polluted with the bacteria, fungi, and viruses. So touching our eyes, nose, and mouth with these hands, which will harmful to us. So here, to overcome this problem, here are the solutions. Rub your hand palm to palm at the time of washing. When you are using the sanitizers or soap, at that time rub your hand palm to palm. Rub the back of each end with the palm of the other hand. Rub your palm together with your finger, and also do a circle of your palm with your finger clasped. So it required near about the 20-second time. So when we have seen the advertisement, at that time there is the one instruction for all of us. When we wash the hands with soap, it required the 20-second time. So why it required the 20-second time? It will we will discuss this later on another slide. So here, when we can consider the surface sanitization, here in this presentation there are the two important points. First is one is hand sanitization and another is surface sanitization. Surface sanitization is removing harmful microbes from the surfaces of clothing, vegetables, and all kinds of hard surfaces in home, office, personal or public vehicles, and public spaces. In short, wherever we go, there are the surfaces, and for that purpose, the sanitization of surfaces is also very important aspect. So for surface sanitization, any of these 5 sanitization process can be followed. One is antimicrobial sanitization, another is foam cleaning sanitization, next one is chemical sanitization, or another thermal sanitization, that is done with the use of either steam or hot water, or the pressure cleaning sanitization is done with the help of a strong force of flowing water. But it depends on the nature of the surface that needs to be cleaned and the environment where the surface is situated. Okay, so depending on the nature of the surface, we choose one of the technique for the surface sanitization. Many of students and also many of us know that the cleaning, when we wash the hands just by the water, that is also the cleaning. But cleaning and sanitization, both are the different concept. So see here how the cleaning and sanitization both are different. Cleaning is the first step to remove the dirt and dust from a certain surface top. Means what? थोडक्यात इथं तुम्हाला सांगायचं झालं तर ज्यावेळेस आपण जेवण करण्यासाठी हात धुतो, हात धुतल्यानंतर म्हणजे लगेच त्याचं सॅनिटायझेशन झालं असं होत नाही. किंवा दुसरी एक गोष्ट त्यामध्ये आहे, ज्यावेळेस आपण it doesn't mean it is totally clean. Or there is the role of our soap and sanitizers. Both have the different roles. When we can consider the soap having the both roles. it will clean our hands and also it will sanitize our hands. But when we can consider the sanitizer, hand sanitizers, it just only sanitize our hands. Means what? It will just, whatever the hand sanitizer, it will just kills the germs, pathogens, whatever the viruses present on our hand, but it can't remove the dirt. सो ज्यावेळेस पॅन्डेमिक होतं त्यावेळेस आपण पाहिलं की सगळ्यात जास्त महत्व ते हँड वॉश विथ सोप यासाठी त्या ठिकाणी दिलं जात होतं. त्याचं कारणच हे आहे की इफ देर इज द डर्ट at that time, whatever these pathogens or germs, it will hide below the dirt. So due to this dirt, it may be the infectious to us. So because of that, when we use the soap for the washing, it is better than the hand sanitizer. Sanitizers are also useful because anywhere we keep the hand sanitizer with us, we use anywhere the sanitizer, there is no need of water or any sink is there for the purpose of washing, but both have the different roles. So here cleaning is a regular task. When we can differentiate the cleaning and sanitization, here cleaning is the first step. Cleaning is a regular start that can be done by anyone. The chemicals, agents, and the equipments used for cleaning are simple and basic, can be easily arranged. Cleaning aims at removing the dirt particles. Okay, what is the aim of cleaning? Just only removing the dirt particles. But when we can consider the sanitization, sanitization is the next step that aims at deeper cleaning. Sanitization is a highly professional task that requires knowledge, experience, and expertise. Okay, just when we wash our hands with water, there is no need to high or it doesn't require the high professional knowledge or experience or any expertization. But when we sanitize something, at that time it required the highly professional required the knowledge, experience, and expertise. So in sanitization, the products are much more complex. People must have enough knowledge of using the right chemical in the right place so that the bacteria are killing, but the surface top is not damaged. It is very important in sanitization. Suppose we don't know which solution is going to utilize as a sanitization, at that time it will harmful to us. Also, whatever the proportion for using of sanitization, if we don't know, and also what precautions we should take while using the sanitizers, at that time it may be the problematic for us. So in sanitization, people must have the enough knowledge of using the right chemical in the right place so that the bacteria are killed, but the surface top is not damaged. Sanitization aims at killing the bacteria and inhibits the further growth of it. That is very important. Sanitization only aims at killing the bacteria and inhibits the further growth of it. It can't be used for the cleaning purpose. It can't be used for the removing of dirt particles. That is the main difference in between the cleaning and sanitization. Then here it is one video of whatever the mechanism of soap and sanitizer when we used the soap and sanitizer. Just Is it video visible?
Your hand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So carefully view the video.
Up close are anything but smooth. With peaks and valleys, folds and rifts, there are plenty of hiding places for a virus to stick. If you then touch your face, the virus can infect you. But there are two extraordinarily simple ways you can keep that from happening: soap and water and hand sanitizer. So, which is better? The coronavirus that causes COVID-19 is one of many viruses whose protective outer surface is made of a lipid bilayer. These lipids are pin-shaped molecules whose heads are attracted to water and tails are repulsed by it. So, in water-rich environments, lipids naturally form a shell like this, with the heads outside and the tails inside. Their shared reaction to water makes the lipids stick loosely together. This is called the hydrophobic effect. This outer structure helps the molecular machinery of the virus break through cellular membranes and hijack our cells. But it has thousands upon thousands of weak points where the right molecules could pry it apart. And this is where soap comes in. A single drop of any brand of soap contains quadrillions of molecules called amphiphils, which resemble biological lipids. Their tails, which are similarly repulsed by water, compete for space with the lipids that make up the virus's shell. But they're just different enough to break up the regularity of the virus's membrane, making the whole thing come crashing down. Those amphiphils then form bubbles of their own around particles including the virus's RNA and proteins. Apply water and you'll wash that whole bubble away. Hand sanitizers work less like a crowbar and more like an earthquake. When you surround a coronavirus with water, the hydrophobic effect gives the bonds within the membrane their strength. That same effect also holds the big proteins that form coronavirus's spikes in place and in the shape that enables them to infect your cells. If you dry the virus out in air, it keeps its stability. But now surround it with a high concentration of an alcohol, like the ethanol or isopropanol found in most hand sanitizers. This makes the hydrophobic effect disappear and gives the molecules room to move around. The overall effect is like removing all of the nails and mortar from a house and then hitting it with an earthquake. The cell's membrane collapses and those spike proteins crumble. In either method, the actual process of destroying the virus happens in just a second or two, but doctors recommend at least 20 seconds of hand washing because of the intricate landscape that is your hand. Soap and sanitizer need to get everywhere, including your palms, fingertips, the outsides of your hands, and between your fingers to protect you properly. And when it comes to a coronavirus outbreak, doctors recommend washing your hands with soap and water whenever possible. Even though both approaches are similarly effective at killing the virus, soap and water has two benefits. First, it washes away any dirt which could otherwise hide virus particles. But more importantly, it's simply easier to fully cover your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. Of course, hand sanitizer is more convenient to use on the go. In the absence of a sink, use the sanitizer as thoroughly as possible and rub your hands together until they're dry. Unfortunately, there are billions of people who don't have access to clean drinking water, which is a huge problem at any time, but especially during an outbreak. Researchers and aid groups are working to provide solutions for these communities. One example is a device that uses salt, water, and a car battery to make chlorinated water that kills harmful pathogens and is safe for hand washing. So wherever possible, soap and water are recommended for a coronavirus. But does that mean it's best for every viral outbreak? Not necessarily. Many common colds are caused by rhinoviruses that have a geometric protein structure called a capsid instead of a lipid membrane. The capsid doesn't have nearly as many weak points where soap amphiphiles can pry it apart, so it takes longer for soap to be effective. However, some of its surface proteins are still vulnerable to the destabilizing effect of hand sanitizer. In this and similar cases, hand sanitizer may be more effective, especially if you then wash your hands to remove residual particles. The best way to know which to use for any given outbreak is to do what's best for all things illness related. Follow the advice of accredited.
Okay. Okay, what we seen in the video, the mechanism of soap and sanitizer against the virus. We have seen the structure of virus. There is the bilipid layer, and in that bilipid layer, there are the molecules which having the two ends. One is hydrophobic and another is hydrophilic. These two ends means what? Hydrophobic means water repelling and hydrophilic means what? Water loving. Okay. So whatever the hydrophilic end, easily it can solubilize into the water. But if it is hydrophobic at that time, it is water repelling. So here when we see this bilipid layer, whether you have seen this cursor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the bilipid layer. This is hydrophobic end and this is hydrophilic end. So that end is water repelling. So what happened when we can consider the soap which contains the fatty acids, salt of fatty acids. Okay. So it contains the amphiphils which having the both ends, hydrophobic and hydrophilic. And we know in our chemistry, like dissolves in like. So because of that, that amphiphils break down this bilipid layer, and after the destruction of this bilipid layer, it will form the bubbles which contain the genetic material of virus after the disruption. Okay, and when we clean the hands with the help of water, okay, so easily it will remove from our hands. So this is the action of soap. But when for that action, we have seen in the video, it required just 3 to 4 seconds to destroy the whatever the germs, pathogens or viruses. But why there is the 20-second time? Because if the germs or particles hide in the dirt particle, so for the washing of this dirt particle from our hands, it required the 20-second time. But when we can consider the sanitizers, suddenly sanitizer destroy these viruses within 2 to 3 seconds. 99.9% of germs killed by the sanitizer. And what is the benefit of sanitizer? Everywhere we should keep that sanitizer with us. There is no any requirement of water or sink. Easily everywhere we use the sanitizer. Then the types of sanitization available in the market. Brother, what is this? Please move this window away from the shared application.
सर ते तुमच्याकडून क्लोज करावं लागते ॲरो.
इथं हे-
कर्सर क्लोज करा.
ओके. ऑप्शन तर येत नाही. Okay. So types of sanitization available in the market. These are the antimicrobial sanitization, foam cleaning sanitization, chemical sanitization, thermal sanitization that is done with the use of either steam or hot water. Pressure cleaning sanitization is done with the help of a strong force of flowing water. The type of sanitization method chosen depends on the nature of the surface that needs to be cleaned and the environment whether the surface is situated. So depending on that, we have chosen the any one type of sanitization. So what chemical sanitization used in what chemicals are used in sanitization? Okay, so there are the chlorine based cleaners, iodine sanitizers, quaternary ammonium compounds, iodophores, peroxyacetic acids, alcohol based cleaners, non-alcohol based cleaners, formaldehydes, glutaraldehydes, hydrogen peroxide, peracetic acid, and phenolics. So today here we can consider the chlorine based cleaners, iodine sanitizers, quaternary ammonium compounds, and alcohol and non-alcohol based sanitizers. Okay, as already all of we know that when we can consider the chlorine based cleaners, sodium hypochlorite is the best example of these chlorine based cleaners. Whenever our municipal corporation peoples are coming in our college, they are spraying sodium hypochlorite everywhere for the disinfection. So sodium hypochlorite usually has a 3 to 6% solution in water, usually called liquid bleach or just bleach. Historically, it is called as jewel water. So it is used in many household. Laundry disinfects hard surfaces in kitchen, bathrooms, treat water for drinking, and keep swimming pools free infectious. Another type of this chlorine based cleaner, that is the bleaching powder, which contain usually it is a mixture of sodium hypochlorite, calcium hydroxide, and calcium chloride. Then next, the chlorine gas, it is used as a disinfectant in water treatment, especially to make drinking water and in large public swimming pools. It was used extensively to bleach wood pulp, but this use has decreased significantly due to environmental concerns. And also another is chlorine dioxide. This unstable gas is generated in situ or stored as dilute aqueous solution. It finds large scale application for the bleaching of fats and oils, cellulose, floor textiles, beeswax, skin, and in a number of other industries. So when we can consider its advantages and disadvantages, the advantages of these chlorine based sanitizers, they effect on a wide variety of bacteria. They are highly effective, not affected by hard water. Generally, they are inexpensive. But when we can consider its disadvantages, They are corrosive, irritating to the skin. Effectiveness decrease with increasing pH of solution. In short, its activity is depends on the pH. Deteriorates during storage and when exposed to light, dissipates rapidly, loses activity in the presence of organic matter. Then again, the next type of sanitizers are iodine sanitizers. So when we can consider the alcohol sanitizers and iodine sanitizers, iodine sanitizers in nowadays having a very importance, because we know that when we use the alcohol based sanitizers, okay, they suddenly acts on our surface and they kill whatever the germs, bacteria and viruses. But when we can consider this iodine sanitizer, and when we understood the mechanism of this iodine sanitizer, it has been found that iodine has a germicide action due to its capacity to penetrate quickly through the cell wall of microorganism. Its mechanism is different than whatever the alcohol based sanitizers, or as like when we can consider the soap. In the soap and alcohol sanitizer, they break or disrupt the cell wall, but here they can penetrate quickly through the cell wall of microorganism, causing a rupture in the structure of its protein and nucleic acid. Disinfection studies of public water supplies have shown that the concentration up to 5 ppm of iodine were not deleterious to health, and just 1 ppm is sufficiently to safely sanitize a water supply. So it is useful in the water supply also. Iodine has excellent penetration abilities and low reactivity with protein materials. When applied to the skin, this is very important point. When applied to the skin, iodine based disinfectants release free molecular iodine which penetrates the skin's epidermis and forms a solid solution. This prevents it from being washed away or reduced. However, the iodine load inside the skin does decrease over a long period. That is advantageous over the alcohol based sanitizer. It can't prevent after the washing, and however the iodine load inside the skin does decrease over a long period. म्हणजे ते जास्त काळासाठी त्या ठिकाणी टिकून राहतं. This is because iodine diffuses back onto the surface of the skin in the form of a colorless, odorless gas, forming a gaseous antiviral shield on the skin. Okay, so it penetrates into the skin and also into the skin's epidermis and form a solid solution, and it live there long period. Okay, and so this is because iodine diffuses back onto the surface of the skin in the form of colorless, odorless gas, forming a gaseous antiviral shield on the skin. So nowadays it have a very importance, because other sanitizer when we use ते काही जास्त काळासाठी त्या ठिकाणी टिकत नाहीत, पण हे जे आयोडीन सॅनिटायझर आहे, हे आयोडीन सॅनिटायझर आपल्या एपिडर्मिस मध्ये पेनिट्रेट होतं, मध्ये जातं आणि त्या ठिकाणी सॉलिड सोल्युशनच्या फॉर्म मध्ये त्या ठिकाणी राहतं, आणि तिथून ज्या वेळेस हे बाहेर पडतं in the form of colorless or odorless gas, forming a gaseous antiviral shield on the skin. आणि ती जी antiviral shield आहे ही त्या ठिकाणी तुमचे व्हायरसेस आहेत, जर्म्स आहेत, पॅथोजन्स आहेत, त्यांना किल करायचं काम त्या ठिकाणी करते. The extremely slow release of iodine also ensures that it provides protection against the virus for extended period. Then what are the advantages? Advantages are forms brown color that indicates the strength, not affected by hard water. Means what, when we can consider the activity of soap, if there is the hard water, it having the less activity, but whatever this iodine sanitizer, they are not affected by the hard water, less irritating to the skin than the chlorine, activity not lost rapidly in the presence of organic matter. So what are the disadvantages? Effectiveness decreases greatly with an increase in pH, mostly active at pH 3rd, very low acting at 7. Means what, in the acidic pH, it is active, but when it is converted it into the neutral or basic, it is effectiveless. So should not be used in water that is at 120 Faraday or hotter, and might discolor equipment and surfaces. Then another sanitizers are quaternary ammonium compounds. These quaternary ammonium compounds are membrane active virucides interacting with the plasma membrane of yeast and the cytoplasmic membrane of bacteria. Their hydrophobic activity also makes them effective against lipid containing viruses. They show the hydrophobic activity. The quaternary ammonium compounds also interact with intracellular targets and bind to DNA. They directly shows the intracellular targets and bind to the DNA molecules. They are also effective against non-lipid containing viruses and spores depending on the product formulation. When we can consider the soap is not useful against the spores, but here these quaternary ammonium compounds are useful against the spores and microbes. At low concentration, 0.5 to 5 milligram per liter, they are angiostatic, bacteriostatic, tuberculosis, prostatic, and fungostatic at level of 10 to 15 milligram per liter. They are microbicidal for these same groups depending upon the specific organism and formulations. These sanitizers are basically used in commercial kitchens to prevent foodborne illness, which might occur if germs sustain there. That is the important application of these quaternary ammonium compounds. These are basically used in commercial kitchens or in our kitchens to prevent foodborne illness, which might occur if germs sustain there. म्हणजे आपण हे जे जनरल आपले सॅनिटायझर्स आहेत, we can't use alcohol based sanitizers in our kitchen as we know that they are volatile. So instead of those sanitizers, the advantages of this sanitizer, they are non-toxic because of they are used in the kitchen. They are odorless. They are non-corrosive. Most of our chlorine sanitizers, alcohol sanitizers, they are corrosive, but it is non-corrosive, no irritating, stable to heat and relatively stable in the presence of organic matter, active over a wide pH range. Our iodine sanitizers are pH sensitive, but it is active over a wide pH range. That is the important advantages of these sanitizers. Then disadvantages: slow destruction of some microorganism. Okay, as compared to other sanitizers, they take some time for the destruction of microorganism, not compatible with some detergents and hard water. Okay, it will not compatible. म्हणजे काही जे detergents आहेत किंवा hard water बरोबर, it is not compatible. It required the soft water. Then the next, alcohol and non-alcohol based cleaners. When we consider the alcohol based cleaners, as we know that isopropyl alcohol IPA, that is also known as rubbing alcohol, propanol and ethanol, all are alcohol based sanitizer. Alcohol based sanitizer on hand rubs contain different types of alcohols in varying amounts. The concentration of alcohol varies from anywhere between 20% to 95%. Generally, when we consider for the coronavirus, its percentage is 65% to 90%. Depending on the use, it is specified for and the brand selling it. The types of alcohol used are IPA, propanol, and ethanol. So this is the formula given by the WHO for the preparation of sanitizer from ethanol and also from the isopropyl alcohol. If we want to prepare the sanitizer from ethanol, it required the 96%, and we should take it near about the 8,333 ml. Then we have to add the hydrogen peroxide 3%. Its volume is 417 ml, and glycerol 90% glycerol up to 145 ml. When we can consider here the role of the contents, ethanol, definitely it will kill the germs and pathogens, but there is the one drawback. If directly when we use the ethanol, it becomes the skin dry. So because of that, here we use the glycerol. It becomes our skin the moist. Then the second formula, by using the IPA, isopropyl alcohol, 99.8%. So it required the 7,515 ml, hydrogen peroxide 3%, 417 ml, and glycerol 98%, 140 ml. When we can add all of this with each other, we can form the another sanitizer by using the IPA. Then alcohol and non-alcohol based cleaners. So second, we know that the hand wash, which is available in our market, particularly Dettol, which contain the benzalkonium chloride, which is alcohol-free sanitizer. Also, the substances like chlorhexidine gluconate, triclosan, and benzalkonium chloride instead of alcohol to reduce the harmful effect of microbes, but these comparatively less effective than alcohols. However, these are effective against a wide range of viruses and bacteria which may not be exterminated by alcohol alone. That is the importance of this hand wash. Sometimes these chemicals are used as additional material in alcohol based hand rubs to enhance the germ killing power. They have less potential as compared to alcohols, but they are different from the alcohols. And sometimes if we want to enhance the potential, along with them, alcohol is used with this hand wash, within this hand wash. Then the conclusion of this lecture: sanitization is a process that can be rather effective in curbing the harmful influence of viruses by using these sanitizers. With the growing band of such viruses all around us in the current times, sanitization is a process that must be attempted with greater solitary seriousness and meticulous precisions. This could be sanitization of hands or sanitization of surface tops around us that we touch throughout the day. It is one of the most effective steps against the viruses and can help to control their spread. So that is the importance of this sanitization, particularly in sanitization when we can consider the alcohol based, non-alcohol based, and also the iodine sanitization. In that we have used the free iodine. So among all of these sanitizers, iodine sanitizers are more effective. They are long time acting as a sanitizer as compared to other sanitizers. When we can consider the alcohol sanitizer after the washing, uh, there is no any role of our sanitizer, but when we can consider the iodine sanitizers, it penetrates into the epidermis and they live long there and they can form the layer on the skin. So this is all about the sanitizers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Deshmukh, sir, for giving us a nice talk about the sanitizers and explaining the different types of sanitizers and uh, give us information about the advantages of sanitizers and various types of sanitizers. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Now I invite my colleague, Mr. A.R. Jadhav, sir, to give a vote of thanks. Mr. A.R. Jadhav, sir.
Thank you, Patel, sir. Okay. Hello. Now audible? Thank you, Fatak sir. Well, the very nice talk is given on the topic by Dr. Deshmukh. The topic entitled "The Advantages and Disadvantages of Sanitization." He has given us a very nice presentation on the topic. He has given us the knowledge about the difference between the cleaning and the sanitization. He also enlightened us with the knowledge of the different types of sanitization, which sanitizer is used based on the different types of chemicals used in it. And he also given us the very nice presentation on the topic. He has also shown the video on the topic, which gives us the knowledge about the mechanism of the sanitization to kill the bacteria or the viruses. And very nice talk is given by him. I would very thankful to him as he given us the time for this presentation or the talk. I would like to thank the principal of our college who has given us this opportunity to arrange the program. I would like to thank Dr. Sherke sir, who has taken initiative to organize this event. I would also like to thank Dr. Fatak sir, who has taken the responsibility of responsibility of becoming the anchor of this program. I would like to thank Dr. Badar sir, who has taken the efforts in organizing this event technically on the Zoom app. And with the permission of the all the dignitaries, I would like to conclude the end of this particular program. Thank you, sir. Correct.